Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to City Skylines Snowfall. Today, well, we're having a look at the revamped Nerdchester City Center. No longer do we have Nerdchester Square. Nerdchester City Center is actually just a big interchange. That's, yeah, that was a bit of a mess of a time lapse, and I do apologize for that. It was kind of all over the place because I was consistently trying to work out what exactly to do with the entire interchange, and I like how it's turned out, honestly. I like that, you know, this is the way onto the highways, and this is the way off of the highways, and I like that I'm seeing traffic actually using it, albeit not that much traffic actually using it, but there is traffic on the highway, and hopefully that is going to make some kind of difference. We can't really be sure that it'll make much difference, but hopefully it'll make some difference. I'm definitely noticing less traffic in the city overall. There are still these tailbacks, there are still massive groupings of traffic all over the place, but it is moving very well, which I'm very happy about. So it does seem that, in all honesty, this is now working. The one-way system and the interchange is all nicely working. Traffic is using the highway to get into the middle of the city. Traffic's using the highway to get out of the middle of the city. Some of the traffic's using it to get over here. And some of it's using it to come down this way. And apparently this facility is now full. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and empty that cemetery. Because we don't really need a full cemetery. I think I'll keep it there for the meantime, but I do want to maybe change that up at some point in the not too distant future. So, something I would actually like to do is I want to read you some notes that I wrote down last night, and not last night based on when this video goes out. I don't know when this video goes out, but last night for me. So I was watching some City Skylines on YouTube, which is something I rarely do these days because I'm incredibly busy and it's a pain because I want to watch more videos. But I'm joking. I would like to watch more stuff, but I'm busy for all the right reasons. I wrote down that I need to separate industry and I wrote this in bed, by the way. I was gonna go to sleep and I wrote down notes for this City Skylines Let's Play. I wrote down that I need to separate commercial and industry with more highways. And by that, I mean I need to sort of connect to them better, which I think I've sort of done with this bit in the middle. I need more cargo train stations, and I should hide them behind buildings, which is something I'll get into in a second. More highway interchanges, bada boom. We need to redesign high-density residential to have pedestrian paths alongside roads with trees, parks, and metro. Sort of done metro, sort of done the paths, but we'll get into that in a second. And I've been thinking, and I think I mentioned this in the last episode, that every 3-ish blocks, I should probably do an avenue. Sort of the way I split up Moor Hills with an avenue. I should probably do that more often. Like, I could probably do with putting an avenue through the middle of Autumn Heights. Which, actually, looking at it, I could easily do with the highway sort of coming from, say, here, the whole way down to there, and then sort of, I could actually connect it to that bit there if I really wanted to, which would be risky as hell, but, would also be interesting as hell. We'll see. I reckon we'll get to that. Let's give that a shot. To hell with it. Let's try this. Let's pull all of this out. Let's take these roads back. Let's delete this whole area. We're doing a lot of major revamps to the city this time around, apparently. What have I disconnected there? Probably a bus. So what we'll do is this road will fit down through there pretty nicely, meaning an avenue probably won't. I could do one of the the small 4-lane roads, but I actually do want to use a big one because it needs to look the part. It needs to be easily noticeable. So, where does Briarwood end is the question. I think that's about the end of this, of the industrial district, I think. I don't know. No, that road is in that road isn't, but that road needs to not move. So, what we need to do is have a look at what I've interrupted there. Did I interrupt a... That's a bus line, that's okay. So it was actually the, it was in fact the bus line for the thingamawatsit, the industrial... the thingamawatsit. Okay, well apparently I'm like a toddler. Can I get rid of this? I actually can't get rid of that. I kind of need to, but it's probably not going to let me, because there was a road going there, wasn't there? So can I reconnect that road? Like, if I do this and that and that, is that reconnect? It is. It should be. So if I go to here, can I now move that stop? Why can't I move that stop? That seems kind of... Oh, hold on. If I move this one to there, now I can move this one, and then I can move this one back to there. Yeah, that's fine. That'll do. So I have these connections down here. That's still within that district. Now we want to make connections like this, sort of through there. Get rid of that one because it's a little bit silly. And get rid of that because it's a little bit silly. We did have a road here, and I think this road actually did come along and did serve some purpose. So it did go to there, it went to there, and a little bit further down, I think, and then through there, right? I'm pretty sure that's what that road did. Yeah, and it can actually go a bit further as well, which it probably should. It doesn't really need to, it can go right up to there, really. Because that is, I can still make that part of the industrial district. If I just do that kind of thing, that is still part of the industrial district. The buildings on this side of the road are going to be a little bit more tricky to deal with because they're not technically part of it. But there we go, there's that fixed. Then we just neaten up the zoning here, or the district there, and all of this is completely fine as well. So that should be okay. That's an avenue going down through that space. Can I do a road through there? I absolutely can. I'll do one through... that is a T-junction, cross junction, no. Let's maybe not do that. What did we have there that was interrupted? Oh, it was a tram line, okay. Well, that's a couple of roads connecting that. I'll do a road connecting through there as well. I'll do a cross junction for the hell of it. You know, we've got a few of them there already, so that should be fine. That's an avenue splitting that area a little bit. And I think that could be useful. I do think that could be useful. What I can even go ahead and do is fill up this space with offices rather than industry. Because I do want to make a push with offices to split up the city a little bit more. Because, as you can see, you know, the city center has now gotten a lot closer to the industrial zone. So I want to make sure that we're not directly polluting that zone, which fortunately we're not really doing. As for here, let's get rid of that building. And what have we got? So that's going to be an office zone. That's going to be an office zone as well. In fact, this one could probably be commercial. Some people have been saying do some small pockets of commercial, and we do have a little bit of demand for it. So let's do some small pockets of commercial. We'll do a little bit of a pocket there as well. And I realize I actually need to make a little bit of a change here. This needs to connect to there. There we go. Much better. Then that's fine. That's okay. That's all perfectly gravy. Let's stick that out to there anyway, just to make that connection a little bit easier. And we'll bring a connection through from there to there as well. Then can I do that? I absolutely can. Beautiful. So we have a bunch of connections in there. We can go ahead and actually knock out some of the office zoning that we have here because it's already nicely bordered by all of this. So I can put more industry in here, which is nice. We do want to get a little bit more industry. I also want to look at a couple of things because I realized I did get rid of a lot of snowplows there. We still have 60 that'll be going out, but we did get rid of 40, which could impact the city in a negative way. I think it'll be okay. I do think it'll be okay. I do want to look at electricity, which is fine. And a few people did say I should probably put a fire station next to the power plant, which is a great idea because, as it turns out, we have what looks like two fire stations in the city. So we'll put a major fire station there, which should give pretty excellent coverage to that area. There we go. And we'll do a major fire station over there as well. We need a hospital. That's for sure. We absolutely need a hospital. So let's see if we can get one of those in the city center. No, we can't. That's a bit of a shame. I can get it there, I suppose. That does put it on a one-way road, though, and sort of isolate the entire left side of the city. So it might be better putting this somewhere central-ish. That's actually a pretty good spot there. So there's the city hospital. That'll give pretty excellent coverage. And then policing is actually okay. So we have decent fire coverage up here. If the power plant catches fire, we are okay. I can hear a bunch of stuff upgrading as well, so apparently they're really liking the changes I'm making. Let's go ahead and add a couple of tiles of industry there. In this little spot, let's see. Elementary school is okay. Also, I got a church that counts as a school, which is interesting. Elementary school's okay, high school's okay, and university's okay, so we don't really need any schools. What about garbage? Incineration's not actually doing all that great. So we could get a couple more of those. Which will be, yeah, that looks alright. That'll, you know, help that out. Help that area. You know, that'll, like and favorite that area. You know, like and favorite, subscribe, it really helps me out, guys. Again, just reminiscing about old YouTube. Can we get the snowplows on these roads? Because they're really taking their time. I guess the snowplows have a hell of a distance to go, don't they? Like, these guys have to come from all the way up here to cover the entire city. I should probably get a few more depots done this way. Depots? Dumps. That's the word I'm looking for. A few snow dumps done this way would be a good idea, I think. Also, filling this area in general might be a good idea. I don't know what to fill it in with, though. I'm tempted to say industry. I don't know that I want to add another industrial zone. I don't think we need it. Right now, commercial is in pretty high demand, so maybe just coming over this way and adding in some commercial zoning would be a good thing to do right now. So if we do that, we'll do another little bit of it there, and to hell with it, we'll just fill in that space there in general and bring that down to here. So that should pretty much deal with the commercial demand that we have. It would be nice to maybe split Myrtle Heights here, because what I'm thinking is if we split Myrtle Heights, we can actually get rid of this district completely, or this part of it, so that can remain Myrtle Heights. Because what I'd like to do, I think, is just pause for a second and extend a district into here. So this is Butler District. All right. Oh god, I remember the good old town of Butler in the last season. I loved that place. That was kind of great. By the way, for those of you that have seen or did watch the previous season of this, someone was mentioning it in the comments of the previous episode. I think it was the previous one anyway. But someone was mentioning, you know, why was the After Dark season abandoned? The save got corrupted, basically, is the reason. I had some mod break and I couldn't place roads. It told me I hit a limit, but I know for a fact I didn't. It was just a corrupted save. These things happen, I suppose. But whatever the case, at the end of that season, in the last few episodes, I did a bunch of like cosmetic work and time-lapse work. I am going to do that again eventually with this city. It's just that right now we're kind of in the space where we're still building up the main center of it. You know, this is time-lapse work and some of the detailing is time-lapse work, but there's nowhere that necessarily needs a whole bunch of detail yet. Okay, this area is bloody packed, actually. That's interesting. I'll tell you what. Let's have a look at Moor Hills again. Because it is still sort of our biggest area in a sense. I know Autumn Hills is huge, but Moor Hills is the biggest individual district that we have. And I feel like it needs to not be that. I feel like I could get an avenue down through here. I feel like I could split this bit of it in half again, which might be a good idea. Although the cemetery is, yeah, it's still pretty friggin' full, so I can't really do that. Well, I'd say that I could. Well, yeah, I could totally extend this, because then I can get rid of this connection here. Keep that one and that one, but have a sort of major connection in the middle. Yeah, let's try that. It does potentially mess with the trams a little. let's see. If I go to the tram road and I extend it that... Ooh, hold on a minute. That's overlapping with that bit of tram road. What if I take the tram this way, then? No, that's still causing problems, because at the minute, what I'm realizing is that my tram system is... No, I can... Oh, what am I thinking? I can do trams on the bloody road itself. I'm going to use a 4-lane avenue. It's fine. I'm literally worrying about nothing. It's fine. It's I'm an idiot sometimes. I really am. Let's bring this road down through here. Let's actually start just doing the tram road, because that's what's going to be. So that goes there. That's a tram road. We want to then, I guess, downgrade this to the regular bit of road, and then turn this road over here. That doesn't go straight along, does it? No, this road over here becomes a regular road as well. So the tram still does the loop that I want it to do, which is excellent. But what I also want to do is just sort of disconnect that bit of road there and sort of just bring it back up to that point. In the same way that a lot of the other ones are. Then we just continue the little path across and continue the little path across. We're not going to get parks in there, unfortunately. I think I will at least move the parks so that they're on the avenue, like that. And then I'll just delete these parks there. Also, again, referring back to the previous episode, someone correctly pointed out that I'm putting these parks right beside each other and they have massive AoEs, in that they have massive areas of effect. And what that means is that these parks will increase the leisure of a certain area, and I'm putting them right beside each other, which is silly. I'm doing it because it looks pretty. I'm not doing it for the AoE. I'm not. I'm doing it because it looks pretty. Okay? Can we just take a moment to accept that it's because it looks pretty? Thank you. Let's continue this avenue down to there, and then head it off with a road. And that road, of course, can have some very pretty trees on it. There we go. There we go. That's a manly road with very pretty trees on it. All right, that little bit's messed up there. We can go ahead and actually, do I want to de-zone that, or can I? Oh, I can zone it. Okay. So that's no problem. We can just zone that. But that should be fine. That's a couple of cross junctions again. It's one. Which honestly, I could probably get rid of. I could probably just get rid of that, and it won't really cause too many problems. In fact, if I get rid of it and then keep that bit gone, I can do a double pedestrian path in there, which looks freaking excellent. And then if I do this kind of thing, I can make these buildings all be the same size, which I think is a good thing to do. So if we do that, those buildings are all going to be about the same size, which will be great. So that sort of controls how that area is going to grow. I actually really like that. I think that could be super useful. Possibly. We'll see. We'll see how useful it ends up being. I do feel good about it, though. I actually want to make another change here. I want to go ahead and change this into a regular stretch of road, so it's the same size. Like, the way this tapers is... Oh, no. I don't want to do that. Because if I do that... Now, that's meant to be a 6-lane road, isn't it? Oh, that was my fault completely. What if I do a regular 6-lane road? Does it taper? It doesn't, but people can park on the sides of it, which is the problem. So we'll just do trees. This bit can be 6-lane as well, so that is just going to taper, which is unfortunate, but these things happen. This bit can just stay that way, I guess. We'll do some trees, because it'll look pretty. There we go. A bunch of trees there, and that may work. That may help with the navigation of that area. It could be useful to have that. It will take a little bit for traffic to update, and obviously there's all this zoning here, which isn't going to build up immediately because we don't have the demand for it. But that should be okay. In fact, what I'll go ahead and do is strip out those zones and do commercial just there on those little sections of main road there and there as well. Because, you know, that could prove to be useful. Some shops in the local area, that's what you want. Plus, there is a cargo train station not too far away, so that should be okay. I am definitely interested to see how this does. I want to see this work, but, well, we'll have to come back to it in a second. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to try and connect my cargo train lines, which is going to prove to be difficult, considering the one I need to go out and connect this to is kind of at the top end of my bloody city. So this is going to prove challenging. So what we'll do is tunnel it along like this, right along the coast, well, sort of along the coast, sort of more under these buildings than the coast, but that's alright. So the whole way along there, like so, right up to there, and it needs to come right over there. So this is actually going pretty well in the grand scheme of things. So bring it up to there, bring it straight along to there, and can I sort of take it this way, then go up? Oh, hold on a minute. Okay, well, maybe I should go down from this side first. We'll go 9 and we'll go 10 and down, and that connects. Beautiful. That actually connected. Now, what we do need to do is create a sort of bypass, of course, so trains can just go directly around this rather than having to go the whole way through it. So we'll try and create that back here a little bit so it doesn't cause too much trouble. Maybe on this side would be the better way to do it. There's a way to do it. Okay. So the trains come along there. Turn off snapping so they work a little better. It goes to there. It goes to there, I guess, and then now that is a little tricky. Is what that is. That needs to come back a bit. Let's do snapping again. Bring it to there. Bring it up. Sure. That should be okay. Can I connect that? Probably not. No, I cannot. I mean, I guess this could also go up. I guess we can sort of mirror what we've done already. So have this go to there and then just sort of like that. Yeah, I guess that works. It doesn't look so bad. Looks interesting, is what it looks. But that is a loop. We now have a loop for the cargo trains. There's bypasses at each station, so that should be okay. Is my thinking. It should be alright. That's a two-way road. That's a one-way road down there, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Let's try making that into a two-way road. Let's give it a shot, make it into a two-way road. We'll do that, though, so traffic can sort of do its thing. We'll do this as well, just along here, a nice dense road. Like that, so traffic can once again sort of do its thing. Well, there's a train coming in, and it's going backwards. Amazing. Okay, so that should totally help with all of this. There's a lot of traffic coming out of the cargo harbor. Is any of it gonna go immediately in there? Some of it does. Some of it absolutely does, which is excellent. Okay, that might end up helping. This little avenue here doesn't seem to be helping all that much, but that's okay. This avenue here is... I don't know if it's helping. I mean, again, I'm just noticing like there is still dense traffic, but it's moving. It's good. Now let's have a look at our RCI over here. Little bit of residential popping up. Still a fair demand for commercial and industry. So I guess we'll come to this space here and see what we can do. Now I reckon how big are these? Like, what do these roads look like if I bring it off of there? I can actually get 3 blocks of zoning if I use these, but they're a little bit small for, you know, proper downtown roads. Let's see. So if I do that, I can get 2. I can go straight through if I really wanted to, which I think could be a reasonable idea if I do an old town policy on this. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. I could also upgrade the road to this one. I think I'll still keep the old town policy, but I think I'll also upgrade the road like that. Let's see. So I want to leave a gap for pedestrian paths through there, so we'll go 2 blocks, and we'll do sort of similar things on this side. That's a little bit more than a block, though. Yeah, that should be fine. Let's knock that down a little bit to there and go 2 blocks. So we can get some pedestrian paths about there. Can I make this work? I absolutely can. It's going to be a bit weird on this side, but that's okay. Over here, I can go to there. So again, we can get some paths through that way. I can actually get this to come straight down to there, which I think could be good. Actually, no, that is very not good, because that is going to be a road that people use as a through road, because this entire district is going to have an old time policy. Not that individual road, so that would be kind of silly. Let's see, so that can go to there. This can go from there, no, one further, there across to that point. And that actually seems like it'll have some reasonable zoning. So that seems like it'll be good. Let's just bring this up a little bit further to, say, there. Maybe one less than that. Yeah, I think that'll be good. We can get a lot of paths in there, which is very important to me. So get some paths like that. We'll get a path from there to there. We'll get a path from there to there, and the whole way around. This path can connect to there, I guess. Sure. This one can probably also connect like this. Yeah, that's a bit weird looking, but it'll do. This one can come up through here and the whole way across and connect that way. And can also connect directly across to there, which will be great. We can have one coming this way as well. So there. Beautiful. So that's a whole bunch of pedestrian paths, which is exactly what I want from a district. There is a connection under there. I think there should probably be a connection here as well. That's probably a good idea. And that does technically connect to the highway there, doesn't it? That's a little bit silly. But I'll allow it. It's alright. Let's see what we can do then. So I'm going to make this top section into... oh, hold on a minute. This area down here needs something. Can I get a road in there that's gonna work? Not really. I could use one of these though, because that'll give me fairly even zoning. Although it's a bit weird. Let's try doing this. Again, still kind of weird. No, I don't like that. I feel like when I do eventually use those roads, I sort of need to commit. Is the thing. So I feel like I'll avoid those for the meantime. What can we put in here then? I could do a park. I guess we'll do a big park in there. We'll clear that space out so we know it's going to be a park of some sort. I could put a district there to mark it, but it should be alright. Let's go ahead and just get the district marked out here. Like that. And I do want to leave it on that top section of road, so we'll just bring that down like that, take it across the highway. Just neaten that a little bit. Hold on. Just like that. Then neaten it like that, and then we'll take it off that bit of avenue. So it is on that road. Good old Emerson Park. But we'll do a bit of an old time policy on you. And we'll go ahead, and this is going to be... This is actually really close to industry as well, so it should be fine. Also, that road is freaking enormous. That is a very straight road. I should not allow that. We're going to leave it for the meantime, though. But that is an alarmingly... Like, that road, like, that whole road is technically just... There's no breaks in it. Which is something I'm trying to avoid. Like, you'll remember there was a big straight road went up through the city. We've now broken that up. We probably want to break that whole sort of road there up at some point. It is a sort of looping ring road in a sense, but I want to break it up. This one as well I need to break up at some point, but we'll get to that. I'll figure that one out. Let's go ahead and just zone like so. What is there not a district here? No, not really. I guess I'll just do offices in that space. There we go, that should look alright. So Emerson Park will be, I guess, majority commercial. I will take some of it out and do some offices. We'll see if we can get rid of our demand that we currently have with this little district. What we'll go ahead and do is all of that. And I guess up here as well can just be offices along the train line, so that should be fine. Good old Emerson Park. Let's see. Let's build it up. It's also going to need water, isn't it? No, it's good. Well, that's great news. Okay, so those guys are looking good. I like that we're hiding this train line. I'm really enjoying that fact. Let's see, so there's 2 entrances to that district. This one is Old Town. That should be alright. That should be completely fine, I reckon. Demand is sort of balanced, which is useful. But I think what I want to do is I want to go ahead and try and work on that park. So let's see what we can do here. This is the kind of thing I would usually consider time-lapsing, but I think we can make something kind of nice kind of quickly. If we do that, we'll do a path from here to there as well. Then a couple of paths through the middle, like that, and like that. That looks alright to me. We'll just put some trees along it. I don't have any of the mods that I have used previously to make parks. Okay, I need to be very careful with this because it's going to go crazy. Let's make the strength a little bit less. As I was saying, I don't have any of the mods that I would use to put down little individual assets like benches and stuff like that. I need to get that mod installed again. But for the meantime, what I'll do is just use various trees to sort of make this area a little bit more dense. I want to use a whole bunch of trees just along here to sort of block off the highway from the park so you can't really see it. So we'll just do that and sort of nicely line that section. We'll sort of continue it around this way a little bit as well. That looks alright to me. You can definitely tell there's a highway back there, but it is nicely covered, which is the important thing. We'll go ahead and sort of do this kind of thing as well and just sort of line these paths a little bit. Or at least line this one like that. And we'll line this one the whole way down to here as well. So that pathway's kind of nicely lined. I don't want it to be too densely packed. I think we'll sort of leave sections of it open. Except for that path again, because for whatever reason I've decided that path is going to be ridiculously densely packed. I do want to leave some trees around sort of the entrances, of course, to sort of symbolize that that is the entrance. So we'll do just that kind of thing. Alright, so that, I think, is good for those kind of trees. I'm very tempted to throw in some of these custom ones that I have. I did get some custom trees because I am working on another Let's Build at the moment, which could possibly involve these. So I think what I'll do is I'll chuck a couple of... I know they're not covered in snow, but I don't know. There's something about that I actually really enjoy. Like the fact that they don't have snow on them. I'm really enjoying that fact. I don't know. I think it's the... I feel like it reminds me of a shot in the anime Death Note. I can't remember where the shot is. But there's like there's a moment where there's a very kind of white background, and I think they use like a cherry blossom tree to give color to the scene. I can't remember when it is, but there is like a moment where there's a lot of kind of pinkish red from the tree, and the background is... I don't even think it's a very white background. I think it's just kind of a... It's a very paved kind of area, so it's a very kind of bland looking ground, I guess. And there's just this beautiful red all over it, so... I don't know, I kind of enjoy the idea that these trees don't have snow on them, because it does bring color. And that's something the city doesn't really have. And color is so important when it comes to building things. Even if it is unrealistic, like even if the snow is fallen on everything but these trees, I think color is so important. We do have some winter editions of birch trees, which is kind of interesting. So I'll throw a few of those in to sort of, bring a different look and feel and texture to the little park here. So we'll just get a few of those about the place. This is my method for building, by the way. If you've ever watched the Let's Builds and it's been too fast and you're like, how is he doing that? This is it when it comes to parks. It's just what kind of looks good, and I think that looks alright. This would be beautiful for some benches and stuff. Which I think I'm gonna leave that for now, because that, eventually when I get the other mod installed, these areas here are perfect for those. We'll do a few more little things along here. This area is very open, which is maybe not something I want. I think the park itself can be quite enclosed, but the inside of it can be a little bit more open. is my thinking. So we'll just do that to enclose the park a little bit more. And, of course, going to bring a little bit more color to this side here. Then get a few of these in as well. And, yeah, I think I actually really enjoy that. I think that'll look amazing once we get the benches and stuff in there. So that'll look great. Let's make sure it's not zoned. It isn't. Perfect. I really do enjoy that. I think it looks absolutely excellent. So there you go. I think it looks good. I did stick my tongue out there. You couldn't say it, but I did do it. You're gonna have to go on faith that I did it. I know I did. I don't care what you think. So I just, in that cut there, I went and had a look at some of the comments again, which is a thing that I'm apparently doing a lot of today. Someone actually mentioned that I really could... Oh god, I've got so... Like, I have bugger all industrial zoning when you compare it to everything else. But someone did mention that something I could do is put some industry over here, and then sort of down here as well, if you think about it, because this would have a good highway connection. The thing is, this is all going to be so densely packed at some point. I don't know when. Like, what I'm probably going to do before I go ahead and densely pack all of this is, like, extend this highway down and through. Also, do I have any new... Oh, I do. Let's get that one, because we might as well. So, what I'm going to end up doing is bringing this highway down and sort of doing what I've done here, you know, sink the highway, except this time I'm not going to tunnel it. The only reason I tunneled it is because this exists. I mean, really, I could have made, you know, got rid of all of this and put the highway through so you can actually see it, but that wouldn't have been a good idea. Also, I went ahead and actually turned off the Old Town policy on Briarwood Square, which is not a square. Let's get rid of the square part of that. I got rid of the Old Town policy on Briarwood because I wanted to test what would happen. Basically, I was curious to see if turning the Old Town policy off would make more traffic use the highway, because some people were correct in saying that technically the highway does go through Briarwood, and there is an Old Town policy on Briarwood. The thing is, I'm not convinced that the Old Town policy actually affects highways. I will Google this. I will absolutely Google this. I'm actually doing it now. Cities, skylines. Does Old Town affect highways? Let's find out. How does the Old Town policy work? The Old Town policy makes it so that cars and service vehicles can't use a district as a shortcut. Only Sims with their destination in the district may enter. It's a bit weird. Okay, this isn't answering my question, though. Okay, I'm not seeing any answers to my question, which is kind of annoying, but whatever the case. What I'll do for Briarwood is I will just do a heavy traffic ban, and that might actually help Briarwood a little bit rather than an Old Town policy. Also, looks like we're having a death wave across the city. I should probably look into some death care. There are plenty of crematoriums, although we probably want a few more, so... we'll get a crematorium, say, over here somewhere. I don't know where. Don't really want it in the park, that's for sure. We could get a few of them. I don't know. I don't know. We'll find somewhere. We could do a row of them there, which would be interesting to say the least. Let's move that one so it's on the bloody highway, not the highway, the avenue. We'll do a row of them. Why not? That's actually stupid. That's stupid. What am I doing? I need to not mess about with ideas like that because it's just going to add so many hearses to that straight. In fact, there's already so many that that traffic's busy enough that the hearses can't get out onto the bloody straight. So yeah, 7 of 7 hearses in use. Okay, it's not busy enough then. They're already in use. Whatever the case, I'll add one there, which will sort of help that area. I'll also add one just over here somewhere, there, because that'll service that area quite nicely. And I will add one just there as well, which will service that area quite nicely. I think other than that, we have pretty good coverage. Could probably do with one there. But yeah, that seems like pretty good coverage to me. The sauna is, what is this? A healthcare facility where people come to bathe in hot, steamy rooms. Towels are optional. Saunas create a health bonus to the neighborhood around them and increase happiness. Okay. So, I guess we can add a sauna. which is a tad odd. As health buildings go, I don't know that I count a sauna as a health building. But whatever the hell, I will add it. There you go. I also want to add one just there for the hell of it. That seems fine. So there's a couple of saunas for the people. I'll also go... Did I just hear the steam coming out of that thing? I also want to add a pedestrian path there and a... Where the balls did I put that sauna? It was down here, wasn't it? Yeah, and a pedestrian path just there so nothing builds there. So that should make people happy, which is always a good thing. I also feel like I want to move these a little bit and actually move a... build a pedestrian road here. Is a pedestrian road? A road, basically. Just along there because I want to zone on it. Basically, I want to put some zoning here so it borders the train track quite nicely. So, there we go. That should work quite nicely. The school is there. Nothing is there. We do want to reconnect that path, of course. So there we go. That all reconnected. That area should build up a little bit and nicely border the train track there, which that's a really interesting view there, isn't it? Just the back of all those buildings. That's very strange. Kind of cool, though. Definitely kind of cool. How's traffic looking? Traffic's actually looking pretty good. Definitely not as bad as it was. How is the public transport system doing? We have 402 on the buses, we have 703 on the trams, and 1,748 on the metro system. That is the way it should be. That's excellent. Those are some excellent numbers. We're absolutely going to need to get on with finishing the tram system at some point, because like I've said, the tram system actually isn't done. The trams start in Linden Hills. There's obviously a tram going about each of the districts, except for Briarwood. Apparently. That's interesting. I probably should do that at some point. But whatever the case, each district, apart from Briarwood, and these new ones, has a tram going about it. Then we have trams that go from one to the other. So we have a tram that goes from Linden to Hillside. We have one that goes from Hillside to Moor Hills, Moor to Crescent, Crescent to Autumn. We need one that goes from Autumn to Briarwood, then Briarwood to, I guess, Emerson and Foggy, then Foggy to Myrtle and Butler, then one from Myrtle to Linden. We also probably need some public transport done in Umber Heights, to be fair. Well, we probably don't. We probably don't need it. It's not really a busy area. So we're probably good ignoring that, to be honest. So I think what we'll do to wrap this episode up is I'm just going to go ahead and fill this area with some zoning. And I know what people are going to say. You don't have any zoning. You don't need to zone it yet. Why are you zoning so much? I'm doing it as a precaution because this area will build up and I don't have to look at it, basically. What this allows me to do is next episode I can focus on something completely different because I don't need to worry about a sudden influx of demand for residential. That's the idea. I want to automate parts of my city. And I'm using this to do it. I could also do some parks back here if I really wanted to. Although I kind of want to put a road back there. And I could probably do it as well. Hold on. If I were to bring this road down through... No, hold on a minute. Let's change that up. If I bring this road up to there, and I bring this road to there, yeah, that works beautifully. So I can not have any zoning on this side, but I can have it on that side. And then I can actually have a path coming through there, which is friggin' excellent. So have that go to there, have this come along to there and there. That uses that space so much better. That's kind of great. I'm very much okay with that. Let's just delete this and see if I can make this a little bit closer to the, Can I get this a little bit closer to the street? I absolutely can. Thank you, that's amazing. Okay, then we'll just, we'll dezone this because it's going to turn out a little bit ugly. We'll connect that to there. We'll move this through to there. I am actually very happy with how that looks. I really am. I think it looks, absolutely perfect. Okay, can I just do a little bit of a square in here? Yeah, I like this. I do. I do like that. That'll build up quite slowly, but that's okay. I should also put some parks in there. That is a thing I should do. Let's see. Sledding hill. Let's do a skating rink. We can do a skating rink. It'll actually... Oh, does that fit in there quite nicely? It does. That'll get rid of part of my my park, but it does fit. It does fit quite nicely, so I'll do it. I actually have the I don't have anarchy. That looks nice, actually. I enjoy how that looks quite a bit. That's a little skating rink. We could add in something like a ski lodge, but it probably doesn't make sense. I could add in a church. That is a thing. I actually have some bigger churches somewhere. I have this one, which is a nice big church. Very nice big church indeed. Which I kind of want to add somewhere. I just don't know where. It would look nice in there. It would definitely look nice in there. But I don't think that's the right place for it. I need someone that looks really bloody good. Oh, I've got an idea for what we could do. If I do a road like that, which is risky, don't get me wrong, it's very risky, but I could totally put the church... Oh, no, it's going to be in a weird angle. Hold on. Let's actually try and make this work. So if I go from there and like that, I can put the church on that, and it's in a reasonably nice place. Or no, that's the wrong bloody church, isn't it? That's the one I want. That's actually really pretty. Can I get that a bit closer? That's my question. Can I get it like there? If I could do a little... Oh, hold on. If I can do a little diagonal road here, like that, and then move the church to there. I know it's not central, and that is annoying the hell out of me, but that does look nice. That does look really nice. Can I guess I could take the road that way, couldn't I? Oh, I've got a better idea. Hold on a minute. I could use this little road. Oh, that's even better. It's going to get even closer to the road. That's perfect. So, there to... Hold on. I will get there. And then can I move the church to be a little bit more aligned? Is that? That's better. Oh my god. That's beautiful. Then take this little road up to there and take this... Okay, that's going to need to... That needs to connect to there and go to like there and there. That's amazing. It kind of looks dumb because of the way the paths are and all that. But I think it's okay. Honestly, I don't know. I think it's all right. I do. I think I'm going to allow that. I think I'm going to allow it because it is kind of nice. Can I get a path along there? I absolutely can. Let's, I would love to get one there as well, though. Well, it's done. I think that looks kind of excellent. The time lapse there will have been a little bit interesting considering the snow was on the screen, but yeah, I forgot to turn off dynamic weather for the little time lapse section there because it wasn't really a planned time lapse section. So yeah, that kind of happens. But I think like that looks kind of great. I really like how that looks. It's a nice little church. It just changes up the entire city center. I love how this entire area looks now. It does look really interesting. So that's kind of fun. But I think that's going to do us for today, ladies and gentlemen. We've actually got this area building up quite nicely over here. So yeah, I think that will do us for today I am very happy with how the city's coming along. I'm actually very happy we've sort of dealt with the problems we were having, really. I mean, there's nowhere near as much traffic on the roads because most of it's probably taking public transport, or it's going on the highway or taking alternate routes about the city. This one-way system in the middle is somewhat working. And just generally, I think the city is coming along. I'm very, very happy with it. So with that in mind, I want to thank you kindly for watching. This has been City Skylines Snowfall, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!